Everyone knows the memes about how One Piece only gets good after 500 episodes, and of course they're referring to Marineford, which is known to be obviously super hype with all the characters in the world, all the backstory in the world, all the build-up of 500 episodes really being the mid-series climax. But everyone also knows, and you clicked on this video knowing exactly what I'm gonna say, that that's not really the real checkpoint for One Piece of if you should finish it or not. The real checkpoint is of course chapter 70, Arlong Park, and everyone here knew that, and everyone here, even though you're clicking, oh, what's the moment everyone fell in love with One Piece, you knew exactly what I was gonna say. It's Arlong Park. Now the reason it's Arlong Park is you have to remember the build up to this. The build up is you have Syrup Village, Romance Dawn, Baratie, Zoro, all that good stuff, and then you get to the point where Nami runs away from the crew, basically steals all their stuff, and then they have to go back and get Nami, and this is where you see Luffy's real character, Zoro's real character. It's the first real character moment for a lot of the Straw Hats at that point of how they're going to react to this situation. And you have to remember, in the build up, those two swordsmen that were with them, they name drop Jinbei for the first time, the 7 warlords for the first time, and the arc is intro, so basically Arlong paying off the Marines, and the Marines themselves, who at that point in the series were very highly built up as these super strong characters, were even bowing down to Arlong. So then you have that backstory. Nami walks in and you see that she is of course a member of the Arlong Pirates, she's their surveyor, and that she basically is also talking with attitude to the pirates. You also see her beat that kid, and everyone in the village hates her for whatever reason, you don't know yet, but she essentially betrayed the crew, and you could tell that her village hated her too, and you almost knew something else was going on there, but you don't really know for sure. And of course when the Straw Hats get there, Luffy is of course super gung-ho, he fully believes Nami, and Zoro is of course skeptical. So when Zoro gets captured by the Arlong Pirates in the beginning, if you remember, he's tied down, and him and Nami and Arlong are all there, and Nami is basically saying like, yeah, I betrayed you guys, and Zoro, the way he tests Nami's loyalty, he jumps in the water to see if she's gonna save him from drowning, because he's tied up, he can't swim, and that's a really good moment for Zoro, because you can see he knew the whole time, but he of course had to test his suspicions. And then as the characters are going through the arc, they meet Nami's stepsister, and of course you understand more so why Nami is doing what she's doing. You could tell that there was a lot more going on than what meets the eye, especially when you see just how many people hated her, yet the fact that her sister, who seemed like the leader of the village, trusted her. You can see a lot of big moments there, and of course you get the moment where Nami finally reveals that she wants to buy back the village for 100 million berries, and you see a lot of funny moments in that point, like Usopp, they thought Usopp was a member of the Fisherman Pirates because of his long nose, they thought he was Arlong. There's a lot of really great moments there that was very key to One Piece, and if you think about it, Arlong Park is like a mini version of every arc in the future to come. Cocoa Village is completely captured by the Arlong Pirates, and they have to go in and liberate the island. Does that sound familiar? Obviously, Oda is very good at these arcs. He built up Arlong really well with him controlling the Marines, him kind of just looking like a demon too, really cool character design. Nami basically being terrified of Arlong to the point where she thinks that no one can do anything about it, because she fully knows Luffy's capabilities, or at least she thinks she does, and doesn't think he could handle him. And then you can see that Luffy still trusted Nami after everything, which was a really key moment. And then of course, as the arc goes on, they have runnings with the Arlong Pirates there and there. Then it goes further and further, and then to the point where Luffy and Nami, it all just reaches a climax to the point where Nami begs Luffy to help when she realizes that Arlong isn't gonna help her. Even if she pays off the village, she herself won't be free. There's a chance Arlong isn't even gonna honor their deal. I think Zoro honestly took a lot more of the shine in this arc too, because he was center focused a lot more than you might realize and might remember, because Zoro is going out, he's challenging Hachan, really great that he came back. Jinbei getting name dropped is super sick too. He challenges Hachan, he gets beat up pretty bad at points by Arlong, but you could see that Zoro was really more of a vice captain role. And then you get the great moment where Nami asks Luffy for help. He says of course they will, and you get the shot of all of them walking away. Insanely hype. The fight with Luffy and Arlong was also very good too, because they were kind of going back and forth, and you realize Luffy had the upper hand, and then of course he jumps down and breaks the whole building, using Arlong to break the whole building. Something else you can see a lot of callbacks to because of the symbolism of what that building meant to Arlong Park. It had the name on it, and then you can see that him destroying that is almost liberating the island, and something that Oda does all the time. And there's some real highlights in this arc too, especially with Usopp. He stood up for himself for once, which I wish he did more often. You saw Sanji, he of course had won his fight. The two swordsmen, I wish they came back, honestly. And then the backstory too, which is something that was very short compared to other islands backstories, but you could see that it was almost a mini expose of what a normal One Piece arc which is like, which is why everyone says if you don't like Arlong Park, you should probably stop watching, because everything else is Arlong Park but longer, and you might have a problem with every arc being that familiar, but seeing the backstory there is very similar to other backstories. Her mom basically sacrificed herself for the kids to free them, to make sure that they were okay, that they wouldn't have to pay the fee, that they could afford to live. And honestly, it was very telling and very similar to other One Piece arcs, but at that point, it was super original and super cool. I do have some problems with every arc being so similar, but honestly, when it's that good and that high of quality, can you really complain? Like, don't fix what isn't broke. But at the same time, I would like some more variety in One Piece at times. Honestly, Arlong Park was basically telling me like, yeah, I'm probably gonna enjoy this show very much, and honestly, I did. Let me know what you thought about it down below. It was a quick little recap. Honestly, let me know if you want a more in-depth breakdown when I do these arc reviews. I just don't know what is bloat, what do you guys want, what do you guys not want, so let me know down below. That's all I have for you today. Don't forget, we're just getting started, we're gonna stay consistent, and I will see you in the next video.